get started.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. We are going to do our first ever match preview. This is for round 0, GWS versus Collingwood on Sunday afternoon, 3:20 p.m. Melbourne time. Let's get into it. So we all know the opening round's a bit of a schmozzle. It is what it is. We can't really do too much about it, but footy's delayed another day, so we're going to see obviously the Hawthorn game on Friday. There's a gap on Sunday now, and then gap on Saturday, and we take place on Sunday. It's going to be wet weather footy. They're expecting in Western Sydney up to 30 millimetres of rain, so it's basically going to be like a proper cow paddock as it already is, and you've already got the Green Day concert, which was already there, so God knows like what the ground surface is going to be like. But you dealt these cards, you move on, and we just play the game as best as we possibly can. So the one to watch for me, so obviously the last time we met, I'll put the scores up there. You can see obviously that, you know, it didn't turn out our day exactly a year ago to when this game's obviously going to be played. We started off last time we played them like a house on fire, and then they just overran us completely. Obviously, we know there was a different set of circumstances with the preseason and God knows what affecting our preparation and stuff like that. That's just it wasn't an excuse. It was just the cards that we were dealt with at the time. Now, 12 months on, it's a completely different ball game. GWS, obviously, like not favouring them. They're missing Hogan, Stringer, Tom Green. We don't have De Goey, Houston, or Tom Mitchell. So, look, I wouldn't really count the Tom Mitchell aspect as we didn't really have him for a lot last season, but no De Goey in Houston does hurt us. If you put De Goey in Houston in our team with the injuries that they've got, I think 100% we win this game quite easily. However, that's not the case. The one to watch, I think, regardless of anything for GWS is Darcy Jones. I think he can kick up to 2 or 3 goals in the wet weather. I think he's going to be their version of potentially a Bobby Hill, or just their version of a small in and under player who's just going to get the ball and he's just going to be lethal in front of goal. So we really need to watch him as opposed to us in our forward line. This is a day where I think someone by the likes of Bobby Hill can absolutely tear a game completely apart. I think this is going to be an absolute breakout game for one other small forward though, and this game is prime for him to absolutely go nuts, and this is Lachie Schultz. I think this is the game where he racks up maybe 20 to 30 disposals, right? In the wet weather, he can kick a couple of goals, but it's going to be his manic pressure in the forward line to congest the play, because we know now with the weather that we're going to be dealt with and the ground conditions, the ball's not going to be in the air quite a lot for big, tall, contested marking. I'll be very surprised if you see the big Triple M's up forward take so many clean, easy contested marks. This is a game where small forwards are going to run rampant, and I just think it's got Lachie Schultz and Bobby Hill, obviously, but it's just got Lachie Schultz written all over it, really to stamp his authority in this team and to show the Collingwood public and the football world why we picked him up, and that this is going to be his year of football, and it starts from this opening round. For the midfield for GWS, I'm really feeling that Lachie Whitfield is going to have a big game this game. I can see him even in the wet getting 25 to 30 disposals. If we can nullify his impact, obviously with Tom Green out, he's going to be a big go-to player in this game. If we can sort of nullify his impact in the game, then there shouldn't be any reason why our mids can't run rampant. I think it's going to be a heavily rebounded game as well. And I think Josh Dacos as well as Nick are both going to combine for 30 disposals each. Whether they're clean disposals or not, I mean, that's just, we're going to have to see. But I can really see Josh Dacos pushing off the half-back and being that extra midfielder, similar to what Houston will do next week. But this has got Josh on the half-back line absolutely owning this game and controlling the game pretty much like a quarterback type, getting the ball, loading it forward so we can then crumb the packs in the forward line. The biggest thing in this game, and I truly believe that the only way that we are going to stop any sort of momentum that they have from the midfield pushing up to into the forward is we really need to try and lock that ball in our forward 50. tackles. Tackles for our forwards is going to be crucial. We're going to try and make sure that we congest the play. If it's a dead ball, try and knock it out of bounds. Just keep the ball on our end of the ground for this game, and I don't see us losing. If with the injuries that they have and the players they have out, the high impact players they have out, which is a stringer, and we can see what he's done to us the last few years on Anzac Day, and he's been able to really turn the game back into Essendon's favour. We don't want that with him in GWS because it's a deadly combination, really. So if we're able to stop the ball going in there as much as possible and clean possession into their forward line by locking it in our forward half of the ground, I don't see us losing this game. My predictions for this game is I see us winning by about 18 points. I see it being a very tight contest, a bit, not so much aerial ping pong, but just a lot of midfield congested play and then us breaking them apart on the run. Even though they've got some key forwards out, with someone by the likes of like a Cadman, I mean, the teams haven't been announced yet, but someone like him, we really got to stop the clean delivery going into the forward line. And if they do push it up forward, it's going to be more of a hustle, more of a, a sloppy play into the forward 50. We've got the defenders to match their forward line with their outs, and we've got the forwards to absolutely decimate their defenders. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going. My tip is in the wet. My tip is in that 30 millimeters of rain, 27-degree weather, humid, sloppy, dewy, wet, whatever. We get the job done by 18 points. Bobby Hill and Lockie Schultz to absolutely star, and the Dacos boys to do their thing. That's my take. Give me yours. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Call it as you see it. The season's here. Go the Pies.